Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the week ending 15th of June 2024. Rishi feels the strain as reform gains hamper the Tory campaign. The G7 promise 50 billion to Ukraine to ease their pain. Kate is finally seen again and brings sunshine through the rain. EU politics remains centre-right in the main, but Macron calls an election to try to have the far-right contained and restrained. On Sunday came the news that many had feared, the outcome that his family did not want to hear. On a sun-kissed Greek island lying on the ground, TV doctor Michael Mosley's body was found. On the Isle of Simi for nearly 4 days there it lay after he had collapsed during a walk while on holiday. It seems he tried to crawl to a place of shade. No one used the same path to come to his aid. Symbolic of the kind of man he was, exploring paths that most others didn't cross. 'Cause he was one of those unorthodox docs that found his remedies outside the box. In Michael, God had created a mind that was unapologetically unconfined. He started as a banker, but that soon palled, and the world of science and medicine called. Qualified as a shrink, worked in A&E, but found his niche with the BBC. With his marvellous gift for communication, he became the GP of our nation. To die at 67 while on holiday made so many so sad in all kinds of ways. Election campaigning for the third full week and Conservative prospects look ever more bleak. No matter Rishi's words or actions or decisions, he cannot shift Labour from their pole position. His D-Day early exit continued to hound him, and an air of despair started to surround him. For those with political points to score, Sunak was made to feel that he'd lost us the war. On Wednesday night, another TV debate, and a Tory member gave it to him straight. She said she could no longer give her support to a man who didn't respect our brave men who fought. He apologised again, eyes slightly watered, a Prime Minister seemingly emotionally tortured. It may have been heartfelt, with eyes glistening, but for Rishi, people are no longer listening. And for the rest of the week, Tory tactics seemed to switch. Damage limitation appeared to be the new pitch. Grant Shapps, Defence Secretary, made clear his priority to stop Labour achieving a supermajority. In that same Sky debate live from Grimsby, Sir Keir had also looked quite uneasy. When asked why he was like a robot, he seemed stunned before spitting out a series of zeros and ones. For the PM the next day, he had an excuse to escape more of this domestic abuse. A G7 summit and Apulia held for 3 days provided opportunity to divert his gaze. Concerns about China were discussed, and more critically, huge support for Ukraine was promised in Italy. $50 billion leverage from Russian assets seized to be lent to Ukraine for their pain to be eased. For the main parties this week, it was hey presto, what rabbits would be pulled from the manifestos. The Conservatives on Tuesday gave their detailed plans, and soon Labour and the Lib Dems had revealed their hands. The Greens and Plaid Cymru, before the week was out, had also published what they're all about. On Sunday, political buffs took note of a sharp right turn taken in the Euro vote. Across Europe, right-wing politics rose up, and when the right soars, tension also goes up. Macron seems to have led France down a blind alley, and his party was thrashed by National Rally. Within hours of his Renaissance party being trounced, a snap general election in France was announced. Germany also felt a hard right-wing groundswell, with the Alternative for Germany party doing well. Overall, the EU stays in the centre-right, but some results had caused a right-wing fright. In 2022, Liz Truss swore an oath to dedicate her premiership to the god of growth. Trickle-down economics, tax breaks for the rich. Within 9 weeks, they and she were ditched. A radical approach, thinking outside the box, had given our economy the greatest of shocks. A few supporters said she should have kept her nerve. Most said she had a nerve and got what she deserved. Whatever the views on how and why she failed, since then growth has become the holy grail, the be-all and end-all of the Treasury. Liz's lunacy resulted in her legacy. Some logic was wrapped up in her temerity, and all future chancellors should reject austerity. Certainly Starmer seems to have learnt that lesson. Wealth creation now a term he keeps stressing. And on Wednesday for Rishi it was very bad timing, with the news that the economy is flatlining. The recent optimism in our economy undone by GDP in April rising null point. But in a typically British way, we blamed the rain, as a lot of Easter trading went down the drain. And the rain hasn't really stopped ever since, as on Saturday, when a princess with her prince was at Horse Guards parade for trooping the colour on a mid-June day that could not have been duller. Damp and cold like most of the year has been, but for royal fans this was still a bright sunny scene. For the first time in 5 months there was our future queen. Since her cancer diagnosis, the first time she'd been seen. Under the weather, but still so calm and serene.